Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and I'm very, very happy to be inviting someone from her living room via Zoom today because of the new situation in which we all are placed. But be situation of any kind, the guest today, who you are going to meet soon, has been active with community for over 3 decades. Be it any social organization, religious organization, you will see Neeta Jain working with community members as a very active, vibrant, and effective bridge to connect Indian American community members with politicians, representatives. She herself is elected Democratic District Leader. She was also delegate, one of the delegate, and as we hear about President Joe Biden, she was one of the delegates in that important convention. She is president of Moynihan Club. I will seek her exact pronunciation for the club, and she is also founder president of an important compassionate organization, International Ahimsa Foundation. And what brings Neeta Jain to our studio today is to share her vision. Why is she contesting to become the first council member of New York City Council from District 24? Neeta ji, welcome. Namaste.
नमस्कार अशोक जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका.
So as we are meeting after Deepavali, Guru Purab, Thanksgiving, so greetings on all these important days, and talk to me about what is it that keeps you so enthusiastic and active with community members, with various social organizations. And allow me to add one more line. Once you are in America, many people just run after making more money or just taking care of their family. So going out of your comfort zone and doing what you have been doing for almost 3 decades, where lies the secret?
There's no secret. My life is like an open book because, as you know, as you just said, that I'm a community activist, I'm a community leader, and I serve the community for more than 3 decades. And it is my honor and pleasure to first greet everyone for Happy Diwali, Happy Thanksgiving, and Happy Guru Nanak Jayanti. Today, our Sikh community is celebrating, and Happy Guru Purnima. So, Ashok ji, your answer is that our own community keeps me on my feet all the time, because when people come to me for solutions and for help, I cannot say no. So that keeps me moving toward giving back to the community. And you are very right. I never ran after making money. I always stood there for my community. And I became a voice for voiceless people from our community. And that's where I started my very first volunteer work in one of the non-profit organizations. I'm sure you know it, Navnirman Foundation, in 1992. And that's the year I came to this country. And right after, I got connected with this organization and started working, helping people with domestic violence, DWI cases, and started doing, as my background is, I am a PhD in psychology and also hold a New York State mental health counselor license.
Wow.
So I started doing counseling and therapy to all these victims. And from that day till today, I never looked back. And
So we don't want you to look back. We want you to look forward. But we look back with you just in order to understand, maybe if somebody wants to walk on your footsteps in terms of working for the community, and you have helped people through counseling. So help us understand to positively look forward. Many people have kind of inbuilt inhibition in opening up, especially when they come from India or any other South Asian country, and they feel that connecting with our representatives here, if I use the term folks who do not look like us, then people feel little restricted in their ability to communicate. So allow me to request you to share how one should improve on building the kind of rapport which would help them to work like Neeta Jain, and maybe there will be 5 or 4 or 6 council members or other senators present for many Indian American community functions. So I think a lot of credit goes to you for bringing the community to that level of awareness.
That's very true, and it is very intimidating when you come from the country where the English is not your first language. That is the one most important thing, and people don't feel comfortable coming out of their comfort zone and mingling with other people and talking to them, and no matter how high education they have from back home. But the language also become barrier, and I'm talking about 30 years back. Now it's much easier, much more efficient when the new generation is coming from India and from other countries where English is not a first language. As a school psychologist, I have even seen lot of cases during my service of 25 years in that field, that our children who comes from India, not only children but their families also suffer just because of the language barrier. And that's what my job was, and I'm still doing it. And I try to console them, comfort them, give them confidence, and tell them how to learn the language and where to go, resources. And we actually started right in 93 or 94, we started another organization, which we started helping people who were migrating from India with the professional degrees, but they did not know how to get the license here, even in medicine degree and dentist degree, teacher's degree, but they did not know how to mobilize themselves in their own professional field. So myself, Dr. Satish Verma, his wife, and there was a couple of other, Dr. Singh. So 4 or 5 people from Nirman group, we started this another chapter of organization which used to help and guide them to get all the resources so they can come on their own feet and they don't feel like deprived and they don't feel like inhibited. So that's how we started, helping our community professionals, and they started getting what they needed to get. And I'm proud Indian American. I'm proud to represent 2 great democracies of this world, as you know, and the largest democracy and the oldest democracy. And when I started going to these elected officials' offices for help, to get help for our community members, right? So then I started, like, they were very curious to learn about our culture, and I had a very good relationship with them. And then slowly I started inviting them to our community events. Even and when I was I was vice president of Jain Center of America. I'm still a senior vice president of Hindu Center, which you also have came for so many events. So when I started inviting them, and they got very eager to learn of our culture, and that kept me going on with them to teach them, to educate them for our culture and our heritage.
On very frequently discussed theme about potential relationship between India and America under the new administration, and the impression generally is that President Trump and Trump administration has worked very closely with the Modi government, with Indian government, and there has been some critical remarks from the leaders of Democratic Party in the face of certain rules which are internal matter of India, including CAA. But the critical comment that came from the now President or Vice President-elect Kamala Harris also making people kind of look with some apprehension in terms of the flow of Indo-US relationship under new administration. Your take on this?
Usually we don't discuss international relationship, but in general, I would say India and America always good friends, and no matter which party come in, which party was there, which party is today here and tomorrow, we always have a very good positive relationship between 2 countries, and we grow together, we work together, and that's what my vision to
so
see.
I think we will leave it at that if you don't feel comfortable discussing about the international relations. Let us talk about Indian Americans here and approach towards immigrants from the previous or Trump administration and immigration reforms or concerns of immigrants. Do you see there is likely to be some shift under President Biden?
I think so. There should be some kind of comfort should come. That's all I can say.
Okay, so
like
now
people were very in Trump tenure. People was very uncomfortable. People were very concerned. People were frightened. The people who are not here on official visa, they were afraid even to go out from their houses, and they suffered a lot. Their families suffered a lot because they did not go out for some long time to go and get the money to put the bread on their table. So they have suffered a lot. They have gone through trauma. So I believe that in this administration, they will at least live their life normally.
Wonderful. So, Neeta ji, I really want to move towards the important event which is of historic proportion coming up, where you have also offered your presence and put yourself online as a candidate for New York City Council District 24. Let our viewers hear from you why you consider that any voter should consider to cast their vote in favor of Neeta Jain.
All right. Thank you so much for this question. As you know that I'm serving community for 30 years. I'm an accomplished educator. I'm a community advocate. I have 30 years of experience serving people. And I live in this community for same years. And I know what the requirements, what the needs, and what the issues are in the community. And on top of that, I am a peace promoter. And we know a lot of irritations, not a lot of violence acts are going on in our community everywhere. So those are the things. And my PhD degree in psychology, I think that make me accomplished and make me a good candidate for this city council race. And this is going to be a special election because our ex-New York City Council member of District 24, Rory Langsman, resigned and he joined Governor Cuomo's staff. So we are having a special election on February 2nd. So I want to tell all the viewers, if you live in New York City Council District 24 area is Fresh Meadows, whole Fresh Meadow, Kew Gardens Hills, and Jamaica Estate, Jamaica, Briarwood, and part of Richmond Hill also comes in CD24. So if you live in these areas, you definitely are, and you are a registered voter, you must be getting my emails from my campaign office and to remind you that a special election is on February 2nd.
So absolutely.
Going back to your question again, I am the viable candidate for this race because, as I just said, that these are the things I've been doing to the community in this district. And this is time for our community representation fully in New York City Council. There is no one is representing from especially from our South Asian or Indian community. There's no representation at all in New York City Council. And it is very sad to see that for how long we've been living in this New York City. More than 60 years people migrated to this great city, but still we do not have our voice on the table. So that's my reason that up to this point.
I want to echo what you just said, that it's always important to have your own people representing you. And we say our own people, then we are talking as immigrants from South Asian or Indian Americans, and it becomes easier for us to convey our concerns to the place where it matters in terms of the way policies are formulated. But Neeta ji, people look about their decision from various point of views. So this question is to assure people that they are looking at the right candidate. Tell me about your analysis or understanding of the concerns of citizens of District 24, and when they look up to the city council member, is there anything specific that you see they have in their mind with which they would like to make this important choice?
Yes, that's true. So, as you know, that as a district leader, I'm also working in the same area, and I've been working through this pandemic very closely with my constituents, and I've been hearing, and they are contacting actually me for their various issues. The biggest issue and concern is right now mental health, safety, public safety, and education. So I've been working on these issues with them and trying to help them. And they all know it, and it's not only South Asian. I'm working with all different communities. This particular borough is very diverse. We have multi-ethnicity people living in this district. We have Jewish community living in this district. We have Indian community. We have Bangladeshi community, Pakistani community, all South Asian communities. We have Latinos living there. We have African American living there. So this is a very multi-ethnic district in the whole Queens itself. So I'm working with all different community people. It's not only with the South Asian people, and they are becoming a good friends with me, and they are opening their communication, their channels towards me, and feeling more comfortable coming to me with their issues, and because they know that I'm the one who can help them. And that's the reason they are coming to me. So I've been working, for example, one small thing I will mention here, that kids are doing remote learning from home, and a lot of schools are suffering with lack of devices. So administrations are calling me, assistant principals are calling me, teachers are calling me that they need devices. They can contact BOE, they can contact anybody else, but they are telling me these are the issues children are facing. So I'm working on it very closely with different elected offices, including mayor office, to get them their devices. So
Neeta, I think what is important is someone who is willing to work, who is willing to run an extra mile to find the right solution in the minimum possible time. And Neeta ji has always been on her toes. Now, here is an important development in terms of a shift, or rather a new pattern, which is ranked choice voting, which is happening for the first time. What is it, and how it is likely to impact the way election is conducted?
So this is the first time happening. This election, New York City Council District 24, is going to be a testimony for ranked choice voting. This is the different voting system they are adopting, and in Georgia it happened. It was already used, but in New York City, our election will be the first election who is using ranked choice voting. So ranked choice voting means you, in some way, it's good that you, like, especially the community of minority, the community of people of color, they have more choices to raise their voices. So what in this what will happen, like, for example, we have 7 candidates on the ballot, for example. So you will be allowed to rank 5 candidates out of those 7. So you can give first choice, like, for example, you are the one who is casting your vote, and you will see, okay, so you have me or 4 other people, then you are allowed to give your first choice, second choice, third, fourth, and fifth. So you can give 5 people vote. It's not like the regular time election, like you go and you just cast vote for one person and come out. No, it's not like that. So you have a choice to choose 5 people according to your choice rank. That's why we call it ranked choice voting.
So Neeta ji, on the face of it, the way I understand it, I think it's going to complicate the situation, and it is like an experiment, and without knowing all the details in terms of the thought process behind it, looks like it is going to be difficult for people to kind of express. If it was only number 1, Neeta Jain, then the guy is done. I mean, he cast it. Now he has to look.
So they are trying to see, and I'm sure eventually it will give a lot of benefits to the constituents and to the voters. But right now, yes, you are right. Right now, we haven't done any educational program on ranked choice voting to our voters.
Right.
So first time on December 3rd, our Assemblywoman Neeli Rozak and Assemblyman Daniel Rosenthal, they both are bringing a seminar on ranked choice voting. So, but till now, there's no educational tool was provided to voters by BOE at this point.
So I appreciate.
It's very spectacle right now. That I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm keeping my finger crossed that it should work. People should understand, and let's see what happens on February 2nd. Is not that far out.
Absolutely. So awareness is important, and learning how to do what you are going out there to do is also important. So I think media can also play an important role, considering the COVID situation not giving us the opportunity to be together in the same physical space, but at least we are together, and this virtual world has become a very important tool for all of us to communicate as well as to conduct multiple kind of business. And
Right.
Neeta ji, while we have also made use of this virtual world to connect with you today, I would like you to conclude by sharing your specific vision as a city council member. Is it education? Is it mental well-being? Is it something else that you would like to put more force on as an elected member?
Yeah, so my thing is this, like I've been talking to my voters and I'm telling them that once I get elected, and which I'm pretty sure will happen with all of your supports and blessings. So the first thing that I want to make sure in my district that our schools are fully funded. So children and their staff will not lack of any resources for studies, and teachers should be comfortable teaching kids. Till remote learning is going on, everybody needs the devices, everybody needs internet. So I'm going to make sure that we have that, and our schools are fully funded. And I also want to emphasize on STEM program. So we need, actually looking at today's situation, we definitely want our children to learn more about science, to learn more about technology. So STEM program is for that. So I definitely want to expand STEM program in my district. The second thing, I want to make sure that our community get our fair share, and which is very important, not only for a school but for so many other things. The third thing, I want to make sure that our community is safe, and we will work with the NYPD very closely. And a lot of things are happening with NYPD also in our city and around the country. So I want to make sure that our police officers are well trained, and if they get into any kind of activity, they should be accountable. And I want to make sure that there is no violence in our community, no violence, no hatred, no racial hurts to.
Yeah, I think we definitely appreciate all these ideas passionately which you have expressed, and your vision and passion definitely would help voters decide that this is a historic election, and let there be a historic win this time. And when I say historic win, as you mentioned earlier, we haven't had any member of South Asian community, of Indian American community as our representative in the city council, and let this be the beginning in 2021 with election in February. My guest today, very committed for the community, and having served for over 3 decades, she brings her experience and her compassionate way of connecting with people to the table. So with lots and lots of good wishes, and thanking you for doing what you have been doing for the community, Neeta ji. This is Ashok Vyas from ITV Gold.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to sit down with you again once I get elected.
Absolutely, and I also want to conclude by extending greetings and good wishes on behalf of ITV Gold Chairman Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and indeed from many of our viewers. So thank you, Neeta ji. Lots of good wishes.
Thank you once again. Thank you.